In today to work with a range of people from Triathlon ACT, so from the organisation, but then also coaches, people involved in technical officiating, to share some information about how to include children and people with disabilities into their program. So really the purpose of today was having a conversation about what inclusion looks like, why it's important to be including people, but then also working on some ways, some practical ways to include people with disabilities.
Triathlon's got a really exciting space where it's got the opportunity to be really inclusive. I found that difference between the integration and inclusive step and how we're able to work that in with triathlon really exciting, and I think it has a good future for us in Canberra, and there's lots of ways lots of the clubs can start to be more inclusive, and that it's actually not going to be that much of a challenge to be able to open our doors to more people.
Club and environment and coaches going through a process, talking to the person and trying to adapt both the situation and training to that particular person. So it's really exciting to maybe expand what we offer to people with different abilities.
Sport is great for inclusion, but I think from a triathlon perspective, particularly from Triathlon ACT, there's a real commitment from the organisation to inclusion. So just even the fact that they've initiated this process around upskilling and learning is a great indicator that they're an organisation committed to including people. And I think triathlon in particular is a great opportunity for people to participate because there's opportunities for modification. So already within the sport of triathlon, there's a range of different people participating with different strengths, with different skills, at different pace levels and different ages, and including people with additional needs is just another layer of participation that we could see.
An image about each step of what you're trying to achieve. So there was one example where it was a picture of a swimmer, a picture of a bicycle, riding your bike, picture of a shoe, picture of a run. So that's step by step of the race. We then broke it down into a transition, talking about everything that you have to do into a transition. So stopping your bike, hopping off your bike, putting your shoes on, make sure you're able to tie your laces, move on, and how all of those things, it's so much to think about. If we can lay them out in a picture form and really understand how we're going to operate through each step, I thought that was a really interesting way to break down that type of communication.
Exactly the same as it is for most athletes. Everyone is their individual. They're at different places and points in time. You have to be very clear. For autism in particular, it's about communication. Clear communication, being very precise with what you say. Anyone can get confused, but it becomes more important in those sort of scenarios.
It was great to work with a group of people who are all really committed to the idea of inclusion and are all really keen to improve the way that they're working.